It's like a GSX S ate a Hayabusa. It's like a dinosaur had a baby with a Formula One car. This is the incredibly rare Suzuki B-King, Hayabusa powered. Cue the intro. So the story of this bike starts in 2001, where Suzuki did a prototype of a supercharged Hayabusa Street Fighter bike. Now, I couldn't find any pictures of that thing, but the bean counters in the liability department, the makeup production, supercharged Hayabusa, it never went through, it just didn't pass. So then in 2008, using the brand new Hayabusa platform and the new Hayabusa motor as a second gen Hayabusa, they introduced the Suzuki B-King. And this is kind of in an era where the standard or the naked Street Fighter bike was kind of new, and it was also kind of plain. You know, you had the Z1000, which they were cool bikes, but just kind of a little vanilla. And then you had the, you had the SV1000. It's still a cool bike, but it was not this. And then you got this thing coming out, and honestly, look how wide this bike is. This bike's close to 3 feet wide, probably one of the widest tank setups I've ever seen. At 181 horsepower and 108 foot-pounds of torque, this thing is a monster. This thing's gonna run less than 10-second quarter mile, 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds. Now, that might sound fast, that might sound slow compared to some of the other stuff out there, but keep in mind, you have to keep this thing on the ground. You have to keep traction on the back tire and the front end somewhat on the ground to run those types of numbers. Now, obviously, if all things being perfect, and if you could stretch it out a little bit, this thing's capable of doing much faster. But it's all about just keeping. You're trying to have 181 horsepower to stay on the ground with a contact patch of about this big. Notice the giant exhaust. I mean, the actual exhaust pipe is, I don't know, about 1.5 inches, but the faux exhaust pipe, which is this, is like 9 inches big. It's just giant, incredibly huge. It is rocking a 200 rear tire. The most insane thing about this particular bike is clearly it scared the original owner. This is a one-owner bike with 273 miles on it. This might be the lowest mileage B-King in existence. So this thing's rocking the dirt bike handlebars. So when you're sitting on the bike, it's a fairly, standard, fairly relaxed, ergonomic seating position. And you notice when you put your feet up on here, your legs and thighs just get real snug. I mean, everything feels real nice and tight. A lot of times you put like tank pads on the side so you can hang over and you get some grip on your inner leg, so you can put your other leg down because you're actually holding on with your legs. This is just it's like a big glove. It's kind of sucking you in. Although if you were real tall, like 7 feet tall, you might just not have enough room in here. I don't know. It feels good for me. Caleb felt pretty good on it too. But that's the ergonomics of it. When you're riding this bike, and honestly, it feels more like like looking at this from this view, it feels more like a Honda Rune. It's just giant, ridiculous nonsense. And it does have a steering dampener up here, which I think is non-adjustable. So of course, this is a water-cooled 1340 cc motor. They've got the integrated turn signals inside here. It really is a very clean, fresh-looking design. You can see a lot of the newer Suzuki GSX S 1000 in this design. Classic Transformers headlight. This thing's actually weighing in at 518 pounds dry weight, which is actually not that bad, considering the newer Suzuki GSX S 1000 weighs about 60 pounds lighter than that. And this is a much bigger, more substantial bike with a lot more horsepower. So anytime a bike comes up like this, some people are gonna ask the question why, everyone else is gonna ask the question why not? Why would they make a bike so ridiculous like this? You got the engine, do you have a buyer? I think these things are awesome. I love when companies do stuff like this. They're trying something new. It's very possible that the GSX S would never have made it unless they tried a bike like this. Now, I don't think these things sold very well when they first came out, but now they're hugely popular because the demand is so much bigger and the supply is very small. There's not that many of these things out there. I have never ridden one. I remember seeing these things on the showroom floor like 2 years after they came out, and I've been dying to get one ever since. Now, we actually stepped up to buy this bike because I just wanted to ride it, and I can't wait. Let's go do a test drive. All right, guys, do the words of wisdom. Romans 10:9, that if you confess with your mouth Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you'll be saved. Amen. Let's buy this ridiculous bike because if you buy a bike like this, you better know where you're going. When you register this bike, you don't just register it as a motor vehicle. You also register as a lethal weapon and also a houseboat for some strange reason. Yeah, let's put on my M1 Moto gloves. I can't wait to ride this thing. It's gonna be sweet. This is like the silent killer right here. This thing's nice and quiet. And of course, I have it in A mode. When you go to B mode, it drops you down like 54 horsepower and 37 foot-pounds of torque. What's cool about bikes that's compared to cars, I love how my knees are nice and snug in here. When stuff gets crazy, I can really hold on. I'm not just holding on with my hands. I can really hold on with my legs. But when you have a car, when you often have a fast car, it always defaults to the lamest, most boring, safest program. When you have a bike, it normally just defaults to what it was on before. If you had it in B mode last, it takes back to B mode. If you had an A mode, so some bikes default back to just kill setting, which, hey, let's be honest, that's where we want it to be anyway. Oh man, this thing is gonna be awesome. This bike feels like so much fun. This is such a cool, I love the feel of this bike. It's so smooth, so quiet, yet so nimble. And also, you kind of feel like it kind of puts you in the realm of, like, you're riding a lot of bikes and they feel pretty small, and you're like, cars, oh no. With this, it's like, I could take them. Small SUV, I could take them. Come on, let me at them, Man, the brakes feel perfect. This is what it would feel like to have driven a brand new B King off the showroom floor. Super simple to switch it over from A and B mode. Just press A mode, press B mode. Nothing you would accidentally press. I'm not sure if this is the model that has ABS. I didn't look that closely. Man, that feels good. The question is, the guy who's gonna buy this bike is not, in my mind, one, he knows how to ride. He knows how to ride. He knows how to tame the beast. I could see this being like even more of like a touring bike. Don't pack too much stuff. Keep it light. Got a giant tank. Hayabusas cruise so well on the highway. You're going like 150 at 3,000 RPMs in 5th gear and 4th gear. You're like, I'm not even in 6th gear. Ooh, okay. Failure to follow these safety precautions may increase your risk of injury. Helmet, alcohol, drive slow, read manual. Come on, let me go. Let's see if this pulls as hard as we all hope it pulls. Yep, it does. This bike is great. Cruises, crushes highway speeds. I mean, you know what would be a great vehicle to take up against this head-to-head? The Atom. Maybe we'll do that while I have it. So, extremely comfortable on the highway, going highway speeds, keeping up with traffic. doing all that stuff, let's go take it on some corners. Let's go hit a little bit of back road action and see what it feels like on there. All these mirrors just folded in when I started accelerating. It's got automatic fold-in mirrors. I love the feel of that giant inline 4-cylinder motor. It just feels, it's a very, very smooth engine. I mean, it really does feel like Goldwing smooth. And normally you don't notice that on these bikes. And you don't notice it because they're normally so loud. They're normally just like, just screaming, and you can't feel any, nothing sounds smooth when it's that loud. This is really a nice, this can be such a nice, relaxing bike to ride. I know it doesn't seem like it should be because it's a B King, it's a Hayabusa and a Street Fighter, you know, frame and stuff like that. But and even back there on the highway when on the on-ramp when I was getting on it, it was the back tire was doing a lot of spinning, you know, having a little hard time getting traction. Nope, that's not where I want to go. Sorry guy, I changed my mind. And that's why I drive a B King, because if I want to change my mind, I got that instant power everywhere, always, non-stop. Hello. What's going on over here?
Putting a new pole in.
That old pole sucked, didn't it? So bad.
I think somebody hit it the way it looks.
Oh, classic. That's the biggest bottle of water I've ever seen in my life.
I got it at Family Dollar. $8.
Wow.
It works. Fill it up with ice. Good for the whole day.
Dang. Is that a gallon?
I think. Alright, you're good to go.
Yeah! B King. Shredding a B King over here. B King, yes, B King. Slow, 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 fast! I wasn't even flooring it. I'm not gonna lie, I've been holding back. So much fun. So much fun. Now this is a place that you want to make sure you keep an eye out on what's going on. A lot of people walking in these roads. So, is the B King right for you? I gotta say yes. It's right for everybody. Perfect beginner bike. Perfect entry-level bike. No, I'm just joking. It's not a perfect entry-level bike, but it is just an awesome all-around bike. It really is that bike that you probably, it's that bike that you didn't know existed, but now that you know existed, you're thinking, I need that bike. I need that bike in my life. That's kind of how I feel. And I genuinely like this bike better than the MT-08. I've not driven the FC10 yet, or MT10. I find this to be very relaxing, like the FC07. The problem with some of those bikes is they are super twitchy. You do get over that, but I feel like a lot of the power is not even useful because I don't know. It doesn't feel like you can ever. It's really applicable. You know what I mean? This, for some reason, I think you could use more of it, even though there is more of it. Just the way they let you deliver it to the wheels. This is a blast. What a fun bike. And this has got to be in one of, if I'm putting together some crazy, ridiculous motorcycle collection, you're gonna smoke everyone in a straight line. That's probably just a fact. Even honestly, even Hayabusa, just because the way it's geared, Now, once you get to the higher speeds, it's not gonna, they're gonna start taking you. But to have that much power instantly, and also it wants the, I mean, even though the front end will come up at the end of first and second gear, it doesn't want to, it's not dying just to fly up, you know what I mean? It really maintains a very level, it feels very stable. The bike feels extremely stable. Man, this is a blast, such a blast to drive. And someone's gonna buy this and ruin it by putting some stupid loud exhaust on it. It just feels so perfect. When all the guys in their super loud, super fast bikes are all like zoom zoom, you know, and making a big noise, who's like, who are they gonna, who's gonna get pulled over first? Those guys. Meanwhile, you're over here like a ninja, meow, 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 you know what I mean, sneaking around. You don't have to turn your bike off, and people are like, oh, it just seems like it's not even running. I love how manufacturers make ridiculous bikes like this. You know what I mean? Honestly, this is like Hellcat territory. No, this is like Dodge Demon territory of just ridiculous. Someone buys it, and we need it. And I love seeing it. I love seeing, even if it's a limited production bike, put it out there. Get people hyped, get people pumped, get people thinking, you know, we need something to dream about. But the craziest thing is about motorcycles is when you have these ridiculous bikes, these ridiculous nonsense hot rod bikes that can do, you know, 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds, which is, you couldn't touch a car that could do that type of speed for less than $200,000. And then you can buy a bike that can do it for less than 10. And it handles. You know what I mean? That should, it really just opens up a lot of doors for, hey, I can go fast and be cheap. And my wife doesn't hate me. So earlier today, if you came up here, the Turkey Hill was blocked off, was closed because there was actually a shootout. Now I'm not talking like, now this is Landisville. That's a pretty big deal in Landisville. Apparently, like, some guy was running from the cops, and he ran into the cop car, and they started shooting at him, but they all missed. Honestly, thank God they missed, because they ended up taking him into custody by tasering him on the railroad tracks. Maybe that's what someone said. And so who knows? Hopefully the guy will get his life back together. Maybe he was on drugs or something like that. I don't know. Children, stay off of drugs, and be wise about strong drink and whiskey. All right, guys, that wraps it up. We will see you later. This bike is currently for sale. This will not last long, and if it does, I don't even care. I'm gonna keep it. I'm just gonna make it my own bike, and you guys can't even have it. We'll see you guys later. Check out Srkcycles.com. Do not forget to subscribe, and check out our Bikes and Beards channel, and look in the link below to check out our M1 Moto gloves. These are the 507. These are the sport bike style gloves. We also have cruiser bike style gloves, and they're the baddest gloves on the planet. The only gloves I wear. We'll see you guys later.